a lot to learn, Kitten.
You got a lot to learn, kid. You got a lot to
A
lot to learn. And we have a lot in store for you on this episode. Welcome back, you guys, to Transparent Energy with your hostesses, with the mostesses,
Bambi D.
and of course your girl, Jordan B. And we're recording live from
The 215.
from Philly. So, y'all,
Thanks for tuning in.
yes, thanks for tuning in. We're back with another episode, with another week. And we're here to, look, we got a full episode, and I can't wait to dive in and get things started. So, but before, like, let's get this out, because we got a story to tell. So let's
We got a few stories to tell. We got some good stuff for you guys today.
So let's get our affirmations out the way first. Y'all already know how we do. We like to set the atmosphere. We have to always speak life into ourselves, speak it into the atmosphere, because what we say, once we say it over and over again, we start to believe it, and once we believe it, it starts to show in our everyday lives. And once you believe it, you can achieve it and be it. Okay, so let's start with our affirmations. You want to go this week?
I'll start this week. Today we will begin with, we are reflections of each other.
We are reflections of each other.
Our business is only better because of focus.
Our business and businesses are only better because of focus.
I love that. Our business and our businesses. I love that.
When you mind it and you stay focused on what you need to do, things can flourish and work.
That's dope. This seems like it's a lot of manifesting going on.
We got to.
It's a lot, because this seems we speak a lot of manifestation. But going on, we live every day brand new, so show off.
We live every day brand new, so show off.
And I don't mean that in an immature way, but it's just show off, feel good.
Feel good about yourself every day. Every day is a new day to be a new you, to feel brand new, to start over new. Look, even the next minute, you can change the narrative,
That's true.
The next minute, the next second, the next hour. Look, you have any moment, any time to change for the better. So which?
Our love is as real as the air we breathe.
Our love is as real as the air we breathe.
And finally, we will learn when enough is enough.
We shall need to know when enough is enough.
Because that's healthy. That's part of being healthy.
I'm still learning that though. It's hard.
Me too.
It's hard to know when enough is enough. I mean, it's sometimes you know in your heart, but it's like doing, like even in your mind. Sometimes you know it in both places, but it's still like you want yourself to believe something else. So you stay like trying to look past what you already know is there and see, which is like right in front of your face. So you can't keep trying to pay it no mind, because the more you keep trying to pay it no mind, the more it just grows. It's like infection.
I was just about to say, it's like patching up an open wound or something.
Yeah, and you just keep going through it. It's like you just putting a Band-Aid over.
Band-Aid, there you go, right.
That's why you have to heal, guys. We have to heal. Like, you have to take, first of all, you gotta take accountability. We all have to take accountability. Yes, it's always easy to point the finger and tell somebody what they has done to you. I think we all are good at that. But sometimes we have to take the finger sometimes and do this. Because sometimes it can be us. Sometimes, and it's not always us like, oh, we're doing the things, but it can be us allowing the things to keep on happening in our lives, knowing, like she said, when enough is enough, So, anyway. We are important.
We are important.
We are productive.
We are productive.
We are committed.
We are committed.
And that goes for every aspect of the word. Like when I say that, like I think, because I am a person that has had trouble with being committed to certain things. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not like everybody else. I can admit that I quit sometimes. I quit with certain things that I shouldn't quit with, though. That's the crazy part. We kind of hold on to stuff that we should quit, but then the stuff that we shouldn't quit and kind of should stick in there, we kind of have a tendency to say, you know, F that. But I want to, in this season and beyond, learn how to stay committed to what I'm doing, and at least see what it's, you know what I mean? At least see how it's working out. If it don't work, then it don't work, you know. But at least stay the course, work it out for a little bit, and you know, stay committed.
Right.
Stay committed to the race. Stay
What's
committed.
the worst that could go wrong?
Yeah. I mean, and even if something goes wrong, at least you try.
At least you try.
I really learned that too. Because I even realized a lot of stuff that even I tried to do, it didn't work out, but I tried it. You know what I'm saying? At least I can say I did something.
Right.
Some people not doing nothing.
And one step at a time.
And one step at a time.
You know, just like you, I found myself, wow, like this year actually making commitments. And I feel like planning and commitment kind of go hand in hand. So I've never always really been a big planner type person. But I have found myself making commitments that are like...
And I think even with the pod, I think this has been one of the major commitments I can say that that we've been consistent on it. And like I said, yeah, of course we want people to watch, we want people to look, of course we want y'all to see, and those that look and see, but again, it's not really for
really
y'all.
Watch.
Right. But it's not really for, like, you know what I mean? It's also us.
This is
learning
a
release.
release.
A release. It's
therapeutic for both of us. And
you know,
I think it fits the epitome of actually giving back. You know, this actually comes from the heart. We're not doing this for no gain. Not saying if any sponsorships come through, we're not giving that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is sometimes things are so gems and so organic and so put in us. Can you recite Romans 8:28 for me?
For all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and for those who are called according to His purpose. So when you're in your purpose, it's going to work out. And hopefully, like
whatever our purpose is,
we're still finding it out, guys. We're still fishing too. Like, I don't think we got it all right because we still fishing too. But you know, it's like how I just said, it's better to try than not try at all. And if it's something that's taking your mind off of negative things and not doing, because we could be doing anything else with our Sunday, doing something else negative, or just doing just extra, something that is not bringing no type of reward. But this is rewarding because it, again, like I said, it's therapeutic. It's helpful for us. I know that hopefully it's reaching to someone who needs to hear what we're saying at the right time to either inform, enlighten, transform, however. But again, be committed. Do something and stick to it for as long as you can stick to it. But don't quit. Don't quit too early. Try to run a race a little bit. And you'll see, like when you stick, my mom always told me that was one of my main problems as a kid was practicing and really like honing to a skill and doing it over and over again. I always kind of felt like I know it all, and it had its consequences. So. All right, last one. We are brilliant.
We are brilliant.
That's it for our affirmations. Let's go. We got a 4-pack show. There's some hot topics, but a lot of hot topics, but we have a little something that my girl has to tell.
Yes.
Just to enlighten.
Just to lighten little situations. Okay.
Enlighten someone just in case they do it too.
Yeah. Okay, so before we jump into our hot topics really quick, we just gonna lighten the mood because y'all know we get really serious. That's what I've noticed. Like, our stories are direct, we're very sincere, but a lot of times, even when I sit back and watch this, I don't want to feel like I'm watching anything too serious. No, I wouldn't say a soap opera, but anything too serious.
I think we give them a good balance to a certain extent. But I get what you're saying. But I think we give them a good balance.
Okay.
But let's keep it laughs. I love it.
Well, let's keep the laugh. Yeah. So moving into a laugh. So, okay, you guys. I'm gonna just go right into it. I've experimented with HoneyPacks. And HoneyPacks is just a honey pack.
Like, if y'all know, HoneyPacks is them things that is like a sex enhancer.
It's Viagra and a mayonnaise pack.
Basically. So y'all know we're going with it.
Okay, so normally, okay, so.
Do you want to tell them how many you had?
Well, I have 3 or 4.
So y'all know the other number. Y'all know the other number, so I'm going to let y'all guess which number that was. But go ahead.
I had a few of these HoneyPacks. And I did not know what to expect.
Okay, so what was the night given that made you want to experience with it? Or is this something that you always wanted to do?
Okay, well, no, it wasn't something that I always wanted to do. But I am... What kind of night was it? It was a bunny night.
It was a bunny night.
Okay.
Like I said, because you are, let people know, you are very...
I'm sexually fluent.
Love your sexuality.
Sexually fluent, fully functional. I am not ashamed about my body or who I am. For those who need me to get nitty gritty, I use her. But
no, go ahead. It's just a little hot because we was cooking earlier. Shout out to Ben for a dope. Sorry guys, sorry to interrupt there, but she made us a dope crab dip, and we had some chips and stuff to go with it. Different chips and stuff was really good. So it's hot a little bit.
It is good.
Whew. Go ahead.
But I had a couple of these HoneyPacks, and in my mind, I'm like, I think it's gonna work like I don't know why, like a.
You thought it was gonna be like an on and off, like kind of like just a couple minutes, kind of. So you underestimated it basically.
I highly underestimated it. I thought it was going to give me a e-pill feeling. Like I thought it, because it was honey, it's thick, it get in my bloodstream, it's going to mix with my hormones. If I'm feeling horny and aroused, it's just going to heighten the mood.
Right.
And it stole the mood.
It heightened it for sure.
It went through the roof, literally. When I tell you, I could not control my arousal, and it's uncomfortable.
And that's why. But no, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's so uncomfortable for a lady like me.
That's what I was telling her, guys. I'm like, when she told me, and I love that we have built this friendship. And one thing I'm probably like how we said before. Especially being in the scene, a lot of our friendships are built off of trauma bonds. So it's like pretty much stuff that we've been through. A lot of us have met each other on the streets. A lot of us have went through the fire, Shaka Khan. But to have a friendship now that's being built off of just like pure honesty, like for real, like you know how you can trust somebody until they're untrustworthy. Like I said, of course you have to always be careful. But as of right now, it's like green flags. Like, you know how we always say red flags? It's green flags. I love a green flag relationship, and I love that we are now at that place where we can talk about so many things for her. So for like, the reason why I said that is because for her to even call me and tell me, because she didn't tell me right away. She didn't even tell me right. She told me like a couple of days afterwards.
And I had to tell somebody
because at this point it was getting out of hand. She thought it was gonna be like. She probably thought it was gonna be like a little. Okay, 24 hours. I'm gonna give it 24 hours. It's going. Because she did all the packs in one night. So, and for girls like us that do still have our organs, you know, we have to be careful with certain stuff that we take. You know, because
totally lost control. I had no control, and it was to the point where I had to tell somebody, and Jordan's one of the closest people around me in my life right now. Amongst people that I'm extremely transparent with. Shout out to Transparent Energy. Whereas though I knew I would see her, and if I did not say anything,
I was going to ask you, what is up with you?
It was going to be very embarrassing for both of us. Yes, it was going to be very weird, uncomfortable, almost unexplainable. Like, bitch, you sitting there with a heart on?
Right. Or like, why you sit like that? Like,
you got a lot to learn, Kitten.
You got a lot to learn, Kitten. That's what we call this episode. You got a lot to learn, Kitten.
It was so uncomfortable, and it's just like, I'm gonna dare say it, because it's the woman in me that allows me to say this. I don't know how guys do it. Oh shit!
It's the comfortability of being comfortable in your own skin. That you can be able to talk freely like this, because again, there is someone somewhere that either is thinking about it or probably has done it too. You know, I'm pretty sure you're not the only one, but just in case you are.
Or maybe other trans girls, you know.
I'm talking about, and I'm thinking about trying it. And I was like, because I'm not gonna lie, when I seen that, I was like, oh, man, this might be something.
I definitely recommend. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Maybe not so many as like how I did, 4 in a night, maybe more. I don't know, but
guys, I wouldn't put it past.
I do recommend it for those girls. First, guys, definitely. Boom, you want to keep it going, you want to stay up, you want to impress somebody, definitely do it. But specifically for my girls who enjoy being functional, who have a little trouble with being functioning with no shame,
or who is sex work,
or especially in sex work when you need to get it up and you can't, make that connection. I definitely recommend the Royal HoneyPacks. The arousal is through the roof.
but I definitely think that's dope that you let people know. Because, again, someone needed to know that. But like you said, it's good in moderation.
Definitely,
if you do it in moderation. But like how you, I guess, also can say if you really don't need it.
If you don't have a problem with being functional, if you don't have a problem functioning, your piece works, your blood is flowing, this isn't for you. This isn't for you. But if it is for you, definitely take it in increments. Definitely do not underestimate it. I've seen reviews, and most of the reviews did recommend that you take a day before you're going to do the do. And if I didn't know that, then...
Like what you mean, take a day?
Well, I guess because it's thick, it's the honey.
So let it sit in?
It has to get into your system for it to get in, and then... But I'm not going to say it works instantaneously, but within, I'm going to say 2 hours tops.
It was like...
I was tingly down there.
And my inside pie.
Yes, and then it was like, let me think about babies crying and, think just anything. And it was just like I couldn't shake it. Then I put it to the ultimate test. I relieved myself. So I got one off. Thinking to myself, okay, that's going to make her go to sleep. That's going to make her rest and everything, Not even 10 minutes later. It's like, she's like, wait, I'm not done playing. Whoop-de-woo. Yeah. It was seriously uncomfortable for me, but that's because I took too many. But the moral of the story is...
in moderation, you can have a good time.
In moderation, you definitely have a good time. That is... And you know what? It's crazy because I think another reason why we say this...
Because I forgot, it was a post or somewhere where they was online about something too. I forgot what it was, but yeah, be careful with them honey pigs.
Yeah, definitely be careful with them because it is something in it that makes you go boing. It is definitely something in it, but it's safer than cocaine.
Okay.
It's definitely safer. It didn't give me no heart attack and meth and trank and all of that.
Oh yeah, to speak on this real quick because a friend said to me. So if anyone on here that's from the Philadelphia area and knows any friends that do cop like their weed and stuff from the Russell Street area, I'm sorry guys, gotta keep it real because they already hit on Instagram, so you already know.
Y'all know Russell.
Around Russell Street,
5th Street. Y'all know
8th
Russell.
Street approximately.
Y'all know Russell.
They supposedly, cause like they normally sell weed, but they sell a lot of different drugs.
They got it all, and y'all know.
And
y'all know
supposedly a girl put them on blast on Instagram because her cousin just smoked weed from just smoked weed. That's what they know. So far as they know of, she just smoked weed, and she cops from down in a certain place, and the girl went to go take a drug test, and fentanyl was in her thing, and meth, and she does not do any one of them. So they're basically saying that they spraying their weed and stuff with fentanyl and meth. I kind of can believe it because I remember I did used to cop from down there too before. I did cop weed from down there before, and the weed is kind of addictive a little bit. And I remember what made me stop buying weed from there is because they started being stingy, and then I guess because like people started getting hit to them. You know how in certain places, well, like I said, especially when I used to be really like in my bed and stuff like that, you notice that dealing with drugs and stuff like that, people kind of keep the quality good until they start getting a lot of people and a lot of clientele. Then they start acting funny, and then they start you know, like messing with it, start cutting it, start doing other stuff they shouldn't be doing with it,
and
just to make
keep
it
the
more.
revenue up.
Yeah, just to make it more. And like I said, again, these people don't care about none of us. You know, like they really don't care about you. I honestly don't care about what they're giving you, especially in this area, which is predominantly Ricans. So not putting a bad name out everybody, but we know the Ricans don't care about too many people. To be honest. They don't really like us, for real. So, but we're going, that's another subject. But just be careful if you do know anybody that's getting anything from down here, whether it be in the powdery form, tree, whatever. Be careful if you can invest in it, because I know a lot of places now, and they just had a ball, the ball you was at, the Ball Olympics ball, where they had fentanyl testing strips for the kids that indulge in the other stuff, like powdery stuff, form stuff, and even pills. So now you can test your stuff and to make sure that there's no fentanyl or nothing in it, which I think is really dope, because it's really getting crazy out in the streets. We have to be careful.
I just think at that point, and I definitely hear you. It's dope in a good, clean, kind of supportive kind of way.
But it's like embarrassing.
But I don't think it's embarrassing to each his own. And just to piggyback off the whole Fetty thing, I think this is more powerful than what's being put out on the news. Mm-hmm. Because at first it was put in pills, then it somehow became crushed. Now it's being sprayed. Now it's being somehow grown and put into the plant. Like, I think more light needs to be shed on that, and instead of making ways to test for it, it's just kind of like, give it up. Grow it or give it up. Yeah. If you can't grow it,
or get it from the dispensaries. But even look, it's a lot.
It's just
because they're even saying that some of the dispensary weed you can't even really. It's just a lot. We're just getting lied to all over just everywhere. Everything look like it's good, but it's really not.
Right. And the more I don't know about you, but the more I see, the more I just can't unsee it.
Yeah, and that's why exactly. It's just that's why, and I hate to be one of the ones like, but I used to be one of the ones that wasn't like that. I used to be over the people that was like that, and come to find out they was right about a lot of that stuff that it was, and I'm all like, girl, it ain't nothing. It is something, because especially knowing what we're dealing with in this country right here, this country has already did its big one for long enough. So I can imagine the stuff that is just
unfolding,
unseen, that we don't know.
And it's only gonna get crazier. I'm not even gonna say worse, because sometimes I think what we've seen is only the surface of how bad it is, especially when they're televising it. Come on, killing the kids and killing the
Alright, so let's get into hot topics. Let's start getting into some hot topics this week. Let's first start, I guess we can start since you just said it.
Yeah, you can start.
Let's get into the mass shooting that happened in, the mass shooting in Allen, Texas, where 8 people were killed and 7 injured, 7 hurt, at the Allen, Texas outlet mall in the suburbs of Dallas. The suspect was killed, and they said that he actually had on all black, and he had extra, what do they call it, magazines inside or something. So he was really ready to go ham. They said that from the interview I read on CNN. He was already letting off multiple. Like from what people were saying, it was seeming like it was lasting forever. He must have had so many rounds, and it's crazy because this, like, I guess, as far as publicly knowing, this is probably like the 3rd or 4th one in Texas that we know of. But they're saying that it's been 200 mass shootings that have not been televised in this country in general. 200, and they define a mass shooting by 5 or more people, 4 or 5 or more people getting shot, I guess, at one time in one vicinity at one point in time. So it's said that I didn't get exactly who the 8 people were right offhand.
Was this, and when you say it said at a mall?
It was at an outlet mall, but from the pictures you see, it was kids there. It was definitely kids there, and it's just crazy. Again, another mass shooting. We've got to be careful, and it's just sad because you don't know when and where. Like, you just going about your day, shopping, and then you just hear gunshots, people running, blood, people holding them. I heard it was in one part of the article, a person was saying that they seen a guy holding his neck with blood dripping, screaming. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Did they say 200?
It's been 200
this year, or
200 in the last 5 months. It's been 200 mass shootings. So imagine, like I said, we don't know.
That's
the ones.
Almost 3 killings a week.
Yeah.
3 mass shootings a week. Imagine how much news we're really missing out on. Like,
look, you ain't here.
Or maybe you did. Here at Transparent Energy, where the information is always real, but
and on cue.
And on cue. Oh, especially
always on cue. Always on cue. Always. But yeah, so not shout out, excuse me, but prayers up for, and I know people say that, but prayers to honestly, because we can't get there. So I'm just sending
prayers to Texas.
Love and light to Texas.
Because
from
Texas,
afar. And Texas is going through a lot.
Texas is acting like they're ready to break off.
There's been a lot going on. Texas has been cutting up too, just in a lot of the governmental stuff too. It's just a lot.
Texas, Florida,
like remember we already Florida is cutting. They're cutting, and onto another place.
But I was about to say, but you know who else done flip the burger and is already frying it with onions and everything? Mississippi. Y'all, Mississippi passed the 1020 bill. Now, to a lot of y'all don't care about the 1020 bill. That was your grandparents. Y'all don't care about slavery. Slavery is passed.
I mean, y'all care about slavery only when it means something.
1020 bill is slavery. George.
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow. Excuse me, is slavery. Jim Crow is slavery. Jim Crow is slavery. In Mississippi, that has been passed
to resurrect the Jim Crow.
No, it's resurrected. It's resurrected. It's alive. It's living. They're waiting to slap it in somebody's business. They're ready to start posting up no colors, whites only. Like, that's what Jim Crow is. And I get so ecstatic about it because I never thought I would actually live in a day that I would actually see that it came back. It came back. I thought I was living in the days of freedom where I look back on it and I'm supposed to, kind of be proud for where we came from. Catch me on Bingo.
And we had a good something like that in a minute.
But yeah, guys, it's real. The South is real. The South is
about to cut up again.
Yeah, Confederates. It's really about to give war. It's really about to give war. But again, the war is not with us.
The war is spiritual.
The war is not only spiritual, but in the physical. I'm gonna be very transparent. The war is with the people who got the money. The war is with the people who got the land. And it's only a war because when you try to take something from somebody that took something from somebody else, they want to fight to keep it.
You know how it be? How a thief get mad is how a thief can be mad that they got stolen from.
The caucasity. Excuse me, the audacity.
But for real, this is, y'all, for seriously, like, we, again, remember, like, how they say, we were born, us millennials and the generations after were born at a very peculiar time. We are in a time where it's stuff that we have never seen about to happen, is happening, new stuff, like, we about to experience some stuff that we've, like you said, like we've seen on TV, that we've seen in movies, that we've seen other places, but it's about to be at our front door.
Yeah, and I'm proud to say I was born in the 1900s to experience it.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
I mean, a certain extent, it's the truth.
No, because this definitely...
we were born in the 1900s. a whole millennia has gone by. Like we're living in their world, and an extent. Because honestly, the people from our era are dead, and I think that's one of the reasons. Like unconsciously, like this is the way it is. This is what needs to be done. This is what we need. We need more adults having productive conversations. We need more trans women of color, like putting your cattiness aside and just actually listening to each other's views and how you view the world, and then maybe we could get a better sense of
somebody that's going to be able to communicate, like somebody that's going to be able to receive your how you talk, how you bring it. Because a lot of us get scared on not knowing what to say, how to say it, or just being accepted. I know I'm really big on that too. Sometimes I get a little bit worried about what people say and who's going to view, who's not. You can't let that get in this, or stop you from doing, let that get in the way, or stop you from doing what you were called to do. And if you were called to be a part of this generation and informing and letting people know what's up and just bringing certain light to certain things, or just bringing your own creativity to this universe, however that may be, because I believe we all create. It may not be, everybody doesn't create in art form. Everybody creates in different ways. So I believe, because we have a creator, so our creator creates, so he created us to create.
Right.
So that's just what it is. So yeah, y'all just be careful, because like I said, we don't know day to day. It's just some more and more foolishness. Then America is just like crazy. On top of, like I said, since we're talking about Mississippi, I love how everything's just flowing into. Let's talk about, now let's ride on up to New York. And if everybody knows, yes, God. If everybody knows, New York is a very peculiar place. In New York, like I said, we just came from New York 2 weeks ago. And New York is just a fun place. God, so many pieces.
And we rode the train.
And so many pieces. So many people live in New York. And so many different kind of people. You can see New York is one of the places that you can really be yourself. You can walk down the street and people are not really gonna pay you no mind.
Right. If
they're paying you some mind, then you are doing the most.
That's because you're not being yourself.
Yeah. Well, no, not even that. But if they're paying you some mind, then you're really outdoing yourself, because they are so used to seeing so much stuff up there. But one thing that runs rampant, I think, in a lot of our cities is just the homelessness and people that
crime,
homelessness.
And I think homelessness and crime kind of go hand in hand.
Mental illness. Let me finish. Like mental illness, drugs, drug addictions, and stuff like that, which leaves a lot of our people out in the streets. Everybody's story is different, though. Don't just because people are on drugs, some people out on the street, don't mean they wanted to be out there. Some people were forced out there. Some people had no other choice. Some people was really like messed up in the head a little bit, where you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But it was, and if you do have been to New York, in like a lot of cities, on the trains, and if you catch public service, public transportation, all the kind of people that you can meet on public transportation. And a lot of times, people that are home deprived ride the subways to, have a place to, be throughout the day. New York also has a lot of impersonators and people that perform on their platforms and on the trains, from dancers, especially in Philly, we do that same thing, where people dance and sing and all kind of stuff to bring enjoyment, to get some money, do what you gotta do, whatever. There's a young man, there's a young, but at least in a productive way, especially in New York, because there's so much entertainment in New York. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you go, there's people doing something, entertaining you, double dutching, dancing, impersonating, doing something. There's a young man by the name of Jordan Neely, who was a Michael Jackson impersonator. He was a young man who also was just a little out there. And he... A little out there, like how? Was he mentally ill a bit? Or I'm guessing but like I said, was he flamboyant? Because that's what I'm saying, because I hate to put that on people. Like, right. We don't really know his story, and I don't want to say he was mentally ill and it was just. Did you get to something see it? Did you do any did you get to see any of his videos? Did you see how he performed? Well, I didn't see none of his videos. I just read the article. I didn't see none of the videos. I didn't really look at none of the videos. I was just so caught up in the article and reading. Just again, he was he was 30 years old. Mm-hmm. He was black, a young man. He was on a train. He was. From what the onlooker said, he wasn't doing nothing. I guess he was just in his own world, probably wanting some attention, just not, probably yelling, screaming, probably doing his own thing, probably nothing all dramatic, nothing that had to be dealt with in this manner. But there was a guy by the name of Danny, something. I don't want to give him all that. But Danny, a Marine, he was 24 years old, who put him in a chokehold. Put him in a chokehold until he passed out. And he passed out. Like, dead passed out. And you know, he's a Marine, so he know how to get him up. He know how to off somebody with just the neck. You know, they're really Marines, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just trying to figure out, again, like, here we are again. You know, another person senselessly killed by the hands of someone.
Not only that, this person...
in broad daylight, and everybody's recording.
That just goes to show where people, when I say we, I'm speaking as a people collectively, where we are at as a society. That that we're just recording homicides, murders. Secondly,
there only need to be one person recording. Everybody need to be recording. One person can record to show the evidence, and the rest of us need to be trying to help. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to get them views, though. Social media has played. That's why everybody is recording, because everybody want to be the first one to go viral for recording something new and hot. And you're not going to get paid for that one viral video.
And that's a perfect explanation because you always say social media is a gift and a curse. And that is an epitome of what one of the curses could possibly be. Like trying to take advantage and just be vanity, you know. Let me be the first to say it. But to go on, Danny, that young man is 24 and
30-year-old.
What it says to me is like, all right now, like wake up. I live in a corporation where young white boys can wake up and choke out a black man because he's asking for food. Because
or he probably would just, even if he was being annoying, like you said, like he wasn't bothering you.
Well, I had looked into an article and there was video where the guy had he had just he wasn't performing, but he was just finished doing something, and he basically gave you know how they do, I'm not asking for anything, but I haven't eaten in 3 days. He made it known that he hadn't eaten in 3 days, and he is homeless, but he uses his talents and, you know, to try to get what he wants. And evidently, I guess whatever ensued, he ended up getting choked out to death. And again, it just makes me just like wake up, like, who is this
and
white
boy?
boy?
A homicide.
Where did he come from? Who is his family? Who are these people? Where do these people, like, these people live amongst us, that this person was brought up, bred to
kill another person.
To just kill another person.
And not have no
on a train.
As of right now, he has no consequences.
He has no consequences. Yeah, and I seen
it's ruled a homicide, but no rest.
Are you kidding
me?
That's
so weird.
You know what that is? One,
privilege. That's it.
You got a lot to learn, Kitten.
You got a lot to learn, Kitten. You got a lot to learn, Kitten. No, for real. And that's like, yo, we live in a place where it just was not meant for us. They had to free my ass. This place was not built for us. We built it on the back of our ancestors built this place.
We're still building it. We still kept it afloat until the dollar got vanquished, because we are the only people, we are the majority of the people who keep the dollar circulating. We are. We're not the only ones in this country. We're all around the world. Yeah.
That's
why. You know, in this country. You know. But that's all designed systematically. You know, throw the flashy stuff in their face. Give them, you know, they'll get that.
With hip hop.
Right. Don't teach them
rap with
longevity.
The rap with the burger.
Remember the epidemic pouring the Kool-Aid on? Like, what was that about? Like,
McDonald's is another one. McDonald's. You another one.
Speaking of McDonald's, and it's 99 billion served. I know a lot of y'all heard about the rumor. I know a lot of us had heard the rumors over the years. I used to hear them in high school. First it was camel, then it was horse meat, then it became like people. There has been some light shed on this device that is actually called a grinder, but it looks like a washing machine, and they call it the aquadation. And what it is several machines in different locations, predominantly in near or around funeral homes, where they take or bring back the bodies, because every body that's unalive that's in the graveyard isn't in the graveyard. And a lot of us don't know that they don't stay in the graveyard either, but that's another story. But this machine is built to liquidize bodies, crush them up, liquidize them, and basically, waste it. And what they do, get this, what they do is they put it in our water supply, they put it in our food supply, and they put it in our compost, they put it in everything. And this is something that they don't want us to know, but at the same time they want to diagnose people as crazy and say gangs are running amok because they're shooting people out in the streets. But what if the reality is people are off the wall because we're actually ingesting bodies
and stuff that we're not supposed to? I believe that. Because remember I was saying last week that a lot of people's mental illnesses come also from what we are ingesting. Like, this is why I tell y'all, as of lately, it's really to be careful, and it sucks because a lot of stuff we are so used to eating. So really changing our diet is kind of going to be hard to do, but you got to, we really got to start eating clean. It's going to be hard, but
and
a lot of stuff is not suitable for human consumption. It's really not. We're eating a lot of stuff that is found in...
Say it.
Stuff like tires and shit.
And cat urine.
Stuff that belong in automotives and stuff like that. Why are we ingesting this? This is not okay. And it looks in our favorite snacks, our favorite candies, our favorite sweets. Now, everything is messed with. Our sweets, our cakes, our fruits. Our
hygiene products. And that's really been a big thing. And I'm going to give one of my secrets right now. That's one of the reasons I don't wear deodorant. At least rub on deodorant.
I use Arm & Hammer, the one without no names and stuff in it. It's really good though. I really have stepped away from it too.
Yeah, I like to use oil or whatever. But that
But you're gonna steam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because I never really knew.
No, I don't wear deodorant, but that's because years ago, for me, I learned these are chemicals. Our skin, our epidermis, our skin is alive. And it sounds crazy, but if you ever ask yourself how you healed, it ain't because you got good genes. It's because your skin is alive. Our skin.
It's a living organ.
It's a living organ.
Organism. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Living.
Yeah, it is.
And that's where a lot of cancers and stuff stimulated from us putting these chemicals under our arms and our bodies, sucking it up.
In our foods.
Even down, the powder in the, in your genital area or whatever. You get over ovarian cancer, pancreas cancer.
From the powder. Because remember, if you was back in the day, if you grew up in the very early 90s, you remember your mom used to put them powder, my mom used to powder meat up. Powder meat all down there. I used to have that powder for a long time, and little did you know, they had cancer.
It was killing us.
It's killing us.
Because they already know. See, they don't teach us the things that we need
good.
to know. Right, and we're getting sick.
Oh, that just seeping.
But they did that. Put this on your baby. It'll clean up the rash.
Because also, speaking of stuff like that, let's talk about, I just was hearing about detergent. Our favorite detergent is Tide and stuff like that. It's banned in New York, or supposed to be banned in New York, but I think they're slowly doing it or something like that. But there's product, because Todd was saying that the products that they're trying to say that is supposed to be banned are not in there, but they're saying it is. So New York is starting to ban Tide and Gain, some of our favorite detergents. So I'm pretty sure once New York is going to start trickling down. But again, we're living in a time now where it's about to go back. It seems like things are about to kind of, even though it's going to have to be a lot of dismantling first, but it's going to go back to how things were really
designed to be. I agree. I definitely agree. Have you ever worn fake jewelry.
I hate yeah,
But I'm getting to something.
I try not to because I hate it.
Right. Well, I'm not really a big jewelry person.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not really.
I got my little staple pieces. That's it. But that's why, because I like real jewelry.
Well,
so it's not real. I don't
you know the consequences. The consequences from wearing fake jewelry. Turning green. I'm so glad that you said that, because going into what you said, like how things are kind of coming back and we're just unfolding and revealing. I remember being told, like, you wear fake jewelry, your skin turns green or your skin turns blue. Well, I also found out that originally we are those colors. And originally we were breathing nitrogen. And then somehow we started breathing oxygen. That's a story I don't have time to get into. But we
I
went
did
from
remember scenes like that, like, cause they had a thing in the post where it was like back in the Egyptian days, we were like a greenish color or something like that.
And if you think about it, those days weren't really so far back.
It was far, though.
But I mean, honestly, I don't think it is if something like this happens. But they said we used to breathe nitrogen, and we were those colors, greenish, blues. And these are pictures that are actually on the hieroglyphics, and they're questionable because some people can look at it and say, oh, well, maybe they just wanted to paint these people green. Maybe they just wanted to paint these people blue. But you have to ask yourself, if they were so conscious of dark-skinned people and reddish people and pale people, what would make them just out of nowhere just say, let me paint this person blue or green? And it had nothing to do with royalty. Could it possibly be because that these people were actually this color? But see, our minds aren't ready to process that. But
because of what we was taught and we were conditioned to know.
Right. But what I come to discover was that you can't cover the truth. And what it is what's up, that the copper, what it does is this is kind of like the equivalent of what the sun does to our skin, our bodies. The copper pulls out any toxins in the most natural way, whereas though it will revert back to its natural state in order for it to function the way it needs to. And it just makes me think, like, if this is true and there's nothing to trigger, and it's only a metal, it's only a certain metal that triggers the skin to turn green or blue. If that's the case, it's just mind-blowing. If that's the case, like, I see why they went to such depths, such great lengths to cover that up, because that is, let's say, like, that's the purest how you could be in your full power. So it's kind of like,
well, you already know they don't want us to know our power.
Yeah, they don't want us to know our power.
They have conditioned us to
because maybe they do know.
Yeah, of course they know. Of course they know. Did you see? I shared on my page that Putin from Russia showed that Jesus was black.
Yep.
Or that he was brown, dark skinned, because he wasn't black like African American or that. No,
he was melanated.
He was melanated, complected, dark.
And they know this already.
And like whole. And yeah.
Now
and
the Pope prays to the Black Madonna. Okay, so the Black Madonna is the equivalent to the Mother Mary and Baby Jesus. You know how that looks, how that portrait looks in our minds. There is the original copy, and it's called the Black Madonna, and they are
melanated,
deeply melanated.
Black.
Yes. Yes. And it's her and the baby, and they know this. But for some reason, they want to keep it a secret because they don't want to give up what they stole.
Yeah.
But that leads me roll right into my next topic really quick. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but the planetary judge, the people who sit like up in the UN, I guess, who govern over the presidents, the kings, and everybody. They basically, how do you basically give somebody a warrant? Basically. They basically gave the federal judges in our countries and government, they gave them a warrant, basically and this is real life, to order us U.S. citizens to stop paying our bills, to stop going to work, and stop making money for the people in power, so they can keep funding whatever it is they got going on that's basically run this country in a whole, and to basically give us everything back. And that kind of goes hand in hand when I was telling you the other day when I was like, there is no more government. These people ran and hid, and now I know it's because the planetary judge has issued our country's government basically to give up what you got or go to jail. And this shit is real. Like, basically,
But do you think we're going to get it? No.
Do I think we're going to get it? I think we're going to get something.
That'd be nice.
I do believe that because it's reached transparent energy, it has already, and it's only a matter of time before.
You got a lot to learn, Kitten.
You got a lot to learn, Kitten. But I just feel like it's only a matter of time how we're hearing about the shootout, the shootings, the mass shootings, the riots and everything, and the unnecessary killings and stuff that's going on. It doesn't surprise me that if one day soon, like, we're going to hear like this state, the state of Montana, every citizen just stopped.
It's funny because speaking of it, kind of on topic. Chester, which is not too far from here.
Delaware County.
Shout out Chester. It's supposed to be, if by the end of the year, if they don't come up with something, they're about to not have a government.
Yeah, because Chester is a city.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah, and they're saying that if they don't, something by the end of the year, they need to have something or something. And these people need to come up with some kind of guidelines, rules, something by the end of the year, or Chester is going to be obsolete.
And you know what? If you know anything about Chester,
no government or nothing. So it's meaning you're not gonna be able to do nothing, go nowhere, do nothing. It's gonna be like lights out.
The irony is
over.
There's nothing even in Chester, and that's not a read. There are bars, no rec centers, barely any playgrounds, no movie theater, no shopping centers, no restaurants. I was raised in Chester a bit much, enough to know
my
that
my brother's mom lived out there.
Enough to know that Chester is actually great land space between two money-making boroughs. The thing is, Chester City is governed by black people, always have been. And
that's why it's in the mockery.
And the white people who gentrified the other parts around Chester, because Chester was broken down into several boroughs: Brookhaven, Toby Farms, the east side, west side. But all of that's been broken down and gentrified in a way whereas though everybody want their hands on a piece of land because we can't seem to get right and keep our together.
So everybody else is coming in and gathering their pieces and getting their lit.
Yeah. But and at the same time, it's crazy because you know how it is when somebody gets something that they ain't never had. They don't know how to act. Well, come on, this is not the time to show off. I mean, show off with, for you and your own goodness. But when it comes to doing what you need to do, now is the time, guys. Now is definitely the time. There's a woman who is, speaking of now's the time, there's a woman who basically gave the remedy if you want to get the jab removed. Yes.
The jab.
If you want to get the jab removed, because, that and the 4G.
And a lot of people have been dropping like flies. Unexpectedly. Especially a lot of athletes. Like how you said on the episode, that is crazy because another young girl just passed. Remember that black girl you sent me? She just passed this week.
This is what I'm saying. And it blows everybody's mind. Like, first of all,
like I said, we're not allegedly, like I said, we're not saying that that's where it was from, but a lot of people are just.
Yeah, you don't have to say it. I understand. But I will. But yeah, I will. I'm not confused about
none of that.
My history, my newfound history. it's just strange that nobody's talking about the way that they're putting out. Oh, this player just collapsed on the field. This player, boom, just dropped because of complications. Due to what? Them things y'all were trying to make us take? Them things y'all forced us to take? Them things y'all threatened us to take?
Right.
But see, they don't want to put two and two together because then people will start thinking, and then here comes the lawsuits. That's why it pays to be on your P's and Q's for real.
And they say within a couple of years will be another epidemic. So
oh, it's going to be another one. And it's going to wipe the ones out.
Yeah.
I
just seen something.
I'm going to be real.
It's called Sears or something. I just seen something.
It's going to wipe the ones out that got that in the booster. I got clarification the other day. Why would they give you a booster back in the day when we was getting it? We just had a flu shot and that was it. We just need to get that. We need no booster. I'm going to tell you why they needed a booster. Because they know the body is its own most powerful instrument, organism, and it's known to fight off anything foreign. So if you really want to make... If you really want to make an impact or you want to make...
That's why they say you can't really be too sanitized. Like, it's good to have a little dirt, a little... Just to be able to have your body, what is it called?
I guess introduced to know what it is.
To be able to handle other diseases and just different...
That's what they say. I think my body already knows
What's it called?
Beforehand. It's like a viral load. They give you a little bit of it so your body is introduced to it so it can automatically fight it. But I think that's, in my opinion...
germs. Like to fight the germs. It's good to have a little germs on you sometimes because it helps your body get used to other germs so you can be able to fight other germs.
That's what they tell us. But I just feel like my body ain't tell you that. And I think my body has the capability to pick up something foreign on its own without somebody coming to tell me that. But that's just me. But, yeah, into the boosters, naturally your body pushes out anything that doesn't go with the system.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
You know, so if you want something to stick, you got to hit it with a backup so it can build up a certain potency, you know. But Epsom salt and senna leaf tea, that combination together will eradicate the jab from your system. Depending on how much you have in you.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
And I think finally, really quick, not for nothing, but when we talk about them putting everybody in their faces and the truth and everything coming out, there is a real life walking, unmasked reptilian walking in the Vatican right now as we speak amongst the junior popes and popes up and coming. And there's video footage of that.
Freaky.
And of course the video footage is controversial, but my whole thing is, who's joking about wearing a lizard suit in one of the most holiest places in the world? Yeah. Crazy. The things that makes you go,
and what, and why, and where.
And you got a lot to learn, Kitten.
Got a lot to learn, Kitten. Well, and I'm glad y'all learned a lot on this episode. Yeah. Look. You know, we already said it's really time to buckle up, to really, again, we just seeing it, and I'm just not speaking to y'all, I'm speaking to myself too, to get prepared, to stop being lexical daisy, to stop thinking that it's not enough, because things happen, like I said, in the blink of an eye, and again, everything is all fun and games until it's at your front door, until we're experiencing it for ourselves. And again, we have a lot that is going on in this world right now. We have to keep our eyes open, keep your, like, stay aware of your surroundings, keep your eyes open. If you see something, say something, please.
Especially if you see something and say
There's
something.
There's a lot of crazy wacko jackals out here, and
more unity, y'all. More unity.
If we
like
don't stick together.
Look,
it's too much fighting.
It's too much fighting. It's too much negativity, and a lot of the agenda is to draw and keep us apart. Put your differences aside. Suck your catty lip up, and introduce yourself.
And show love.
And show love.
Until next time, love, laughter, light. Be kind to each other. Do something nice for someone else besides yourself.
And be transparent, we are over here.
And don't be a liar. Be honest. Honesty is power.